Hello, you. It's me. And today I thought it might be fun to talk about witches. In particular, witches of TikTok. Apparently, there have been several who have been joyously predicting the death of President Trump. One of them was supposed to happen yesterday, that he had a heart attack. And if you want to be a witch, be a witch. I'm not going to be judgmental. But the thing about the prediction doesn't bother me so much. It's the fact that so many people are celebrating the idea of the president passing away. Now, I understand not liking a president. There's been a few for me. I'm going to use President Biden, as an example. I could tell, as I think a lot of people could, that he had cognitive dysfunctions, that he was struggling a lot. And honestly, by the end of it, I just felt sorry for him. I felt like it was elder abuse, that they would continue to force him to prop him up on stages time after time when he just wasn't up to the task. And I hated it. Now, whoever was making the decisions behind the scenes, I didn't agree with a lot of what they did. But I never wished the passing of Biden. I never hoped that he would pass away because I didn't like the way that he was being the figurehead to run the country. I just wouldn't do that. And the thing that really bothers me is not that people don't like Trump. A lot of people don't like Trump. And that's okay. You don't have to like him. He's only going to be in office for 4 years, and then he'll be gone. And that's it. And then we'll have someone else. So, you not liking Trump, these quote-unquote witches not liking Trump, and predicting his death day, is weird. Like, it's okay if you don't like somebody. Why would you wish death? That's the thing that disturbs me the most, is not just the witches predicting these days, but the fact that there are so many people who are hoping and praying for Trump's unaliving. What the hell is that? You're wishing for someone's death because you disagree with them? It's okay to disagree. It's not okay to wish death on someone. What are these people thinking? I mean, I grew up, when I was a kid, just the thought of wishing the death on a president, I thought you'd get locked up in prison for that. There were 2 attempts on his life before he became president again. And people were celebrating, saying, "Oh, dang it, you missed." What is that? What has our country come to when people can openly say, "Oh, get him with the next shot. Don't miss next time"? What is wrong with this country that they wish death on people? Even the worst, most horrific people that I can think of, I don't wish death on them. I just don't. The only time I've ever wished death on anyone was when they were so sick and in so much pain, and every waking moment was a torturous nightmare. I only wished death on them so they could be at peace. And maybe I'm wrong for wishing that. But seeing somebody struggle in pain, day after day, moment after moment, without any real relief, is horrific. I can't imagine. I am a person who has suffered through migraines through a good part of my life. And there was a time where I was getting migraines that would last for 3 or 4 days. I'd have like 1 day of rest and then migraines again. And so I had migraine pain for at least 21 days out of every month. And let me tell you, just that made me question why I was alive, or if I wanted to be, because the pain was so immense, so intense. If you've ever had a migraine, even moving your head an inch to the left makes you scream in agony. I mean, it was that bad. I can't even imagine if it was like that throughout my whole body, every day, every moment. At least I would get a little bit of relief after 3 or 4 days. The migraine would subside enough that I could get up and do normal things, and then it would come back again. It was really bad. It was all connected to my female cycle, and well, that's done. So I still get a migraine every now and again. I just got over one just recently. So I still get them once in a while, but nothing like that, thank God. But yeah, that's the only time I've ever wished anybody anything, and it was really just wishing them relief. You know, although I have read that there is a new drug that they're testing, I guess still, that has no addictive effects, but gets rid of pain, takes away pain. So fingers crossed on that continues, and that it's out there and it helps people soon, and that it really helps them, because that would be a lifesaver to so many people, and it would cut down, I would think, addiction by a huge percentage, because a lot of it happens when you're prescribed painkillers through surgeries or whatever it is, that cancers. You know, a lot of addiction comes from prescribed medication. So that would be wonderful, to be able to help people and not give them a crippling addiction. That would be great. But anyway, I tend to ramble off topic, but on topic, why are people wishing other people death, and why do they think it's okay? Because it's really not okay. It seems like it just seems like a horrible thing to do. I don't understand. It seems inhumane. Because you disagree with somebody, you want them dead? That sounds like a dictator. That doesn't sound like somebody in their right mind. And I cannot claim to know or not know if these people are in their right mind. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right to wish somebody death because you disagree with them. I mean, are you going to do that on a family member? Or you have a good friend who disagrees with you, and so you're going to hate them now? Although, having said that, I have lost a few friends who don't like Trump. And I have always been not a staunch supporter of Trump, but I have been a supporter of a lot of ideas. I don't know if I agree or disagree with him now. I think some of the things he's done are good, smart, and some of the other things I just don't understand. And I'm not going to pretend that I do. I'm not going to be somebody who says, well, that sounds wrong, so I hate him and wish him dead. I'm not. Who does that? You know, I try to understand what is the reasoning for what is going on. And I can still disagree with it. I can still be a supporter of Trump and disagree with what he's doing. That's allowed too. I can't imagine there's anybody on the face of this earth that you agree with 100% of the time. That's very rare. And if you find somebody like that, I hope it's your best friend or your partner. Because it's nice to have somebody who agrees and who is on your side all the time. But yeah, generally speaking, I don't agree with everything my friends say. I don't disagree with everything they say. I agree with them more than I disagree, but I don't agree with everything. And that's okay. You can still be friends. You don't have to wish death on a friend because you disagree with them on something. That it just seems so crazy. It seems so extreme. Why would you feel the need to go to that extreme? I don't understand it. I know that there's a thing called histrionic personality disorder. I wonder if a lot of these people, these witches, these ladies, these men, I wonder if they suffer with that. And if they do, I honestly, my heart goes out to them, because it just means that they have, you know, extreme hysterical reactions to things. And it is, I can't imagine that would be a fun way to live, always, you know, getting freaked out and worried about so many things. I mean, I have terrible, crippling anxiety, and I can just imagine how horrible that would be. You know, I work on it every day. It's not an easy task. I'm sure a lot of you have that as well, especially, and I'm saying this only speaking for myself, having come from the way that I was raised as a child, where I very rarely felt safe. It has affected my adulthood drastically, which is why it's so important for people to understand how you treat your children is going to affect them even in adulthood. It may affect them for the rest of their lives. You know, if you treat them bad, if you're abusive, if you're neglectful. You know, I don't feel like people talk about that enough, that those things that you thought were just little things and they'll get over it, they may not. They may not. Even with heavy therapy, even with medication sometimes, it's always still kind of there. And yeah, we need to realize that. But anyway, I worry for the younger generations, because my goodness, just every little thing, I understand with trigger warnings, that makes sense, I guess, to some degree. It is nice to know, like, if I watch a movie, if it has something in it that maybe I feel very uncomfortable with, at least I know it ahead of time, so that I can decide if I want to watch it or if I don't. So I'm not against a lot of things like that, like trigger warnings and stuff, but this is the thing that bothers me about a lot of stuff, especially in social media, like even YouTube. You know, you can't say murderer, you can't say stab, you can't say rape. You can't say these words because they're bothersome to people. They're supposed to be. They're supposed to be bothersome. The whole point of the the whole point of the words that we use is to express and explain what something is. If I say something is horrific, that doesn't mean it was kind of bad. It means it was unbelievably bad to the point where horrific describes it. That's why the word exists. I mean, we're supposed to have freedom of speech in America. So why can't I say those words, even if they're uncomfortable? They're important to be able to express. It's probably why YouTube is not monetizing me. Because I do use words that are supposed to be not used. Maybe I cuss a little bit too much. I don't know. I just don't like, I feel like freedoms are being taken away when you are forced. The only way that you can be monetized is being forced to say things like smurderer or grape or pew pew. You know, we're not children. And it's very bothersome to me. Now, my content is not made for children. I would not want children to listen to me because it's not appropriate. It's not appropriate. I'm talking about murderers and narcissists who harm people and abuse them. I'm not talking about nice things. So I accept the fact that my channel is for adults. But the whole point is we're adults. We should be able to use descriptive words to describe what it is that we're discussing. And this is what we're doing. We're discussing things. And it really bothers me. I mean, if I never get monetized on YouTube, then that'll just be how it is. I mean, this is like a fun thing for me anyway. And I'm so appreciative of everybody who listens. You really don't know how much that means to me. Especially, and I will throw this in, especially somebody who was, as a child, was never listened to. Even as an adult, was never really listened to, especially by family. It just means the world to me that you guys listen and that you respond. And I think that is amazing. I really do. It's fabulous. I don't even know quite the words to explain, like, how giddy I get when I read a comment. It's such a simple thing, but I really just love it. And I love hearing the feedback, and I love when I just love it. That's all I can say. I really just appreciate it. And I do read everyone. And sometimes, every once in a while, there'll be a comment I don't quite get. So I might ask you about it. But I do heart all the comments that I read and appreciate, because I really do appreciate them. I read them. I appreciate them. I don't always respond, but I do listen, and I just love the conversations. I really do. So even if I never get paid, it doesn't matter. I'll still be here, and I'll still enjoy making content, and I will still enjoy you guys responding, because it really is just that nice. I just really enjoy it. But anyway, I want to know what you think about this, about people wishing death on the president. or just wishing death on anybody. I mean, does that sound crazy to you? Because it just sounds very wrong to me. Maybe I'm just old fashioned. I don't know. But I just see it more and more. And not just with Trump. They do that with a lot of people. Just, oh, I hope they die. And I don't, it just feels like that's illegal somehow to say that. I mean, I guess freedom of speech, I don't know. But it just seems like harsh. I don't know. Please let me know what you think, because I really do want to know. And thank you for listening. And that's all I got to say.